Good morning to all the fans in Australia. This is TotalKaos, and my audio seems to be a little bit high. Let me just change that on my own then. Sorry about that. They kind of recently switched over my audio system. I kind of have to control it myself now, which is somewhat interesting to say the least. However, welcome to TotalKaos. My name's Acebeck, and well, today we got something interesting. It's our second broadcast for this particular series. Last time we had ourselves 3 whole matches of the Premier League, which was last Sunday. Today, sadly enough, due to some complications, we were supposed to be starting our broadcast somewhere around 5-ish. I got pushed back to 6, which is what it just was about 20 minutes ago. And we finally got ourselves a match, and it's going to be Absolute Legends versus TMNT. It was originally going to be versus Quantic. However, the former former SK lineup decided to bail out and go towards a different setup, so they had to go versus TMNT. Of course, Absolute Legends will be using this game as their warm-up versus the match in the defense later on today versus Team Dignitas, which is a best of 3, so be sure to check in on that one and just go and check out Join Dota for all the details about that. However, we just started our first picking phase, so let's go into the game and see what is up. Now, of course, we got ourselves Absolute Legends with GoDz, Shatan, Musica, and Gummy Worms, which is in this case Bleak. He will be falling in for Snoopy. Now, he will also be using the setup here. Will also be captain for this one. So the first bans have already been made. So we got ourselves Anti-Mage being banned, as well as Broodmother. So we have some lane control being removed from the situation. Of course, we got ourselves Invoker being banned by the other side. So that is Invoker and Night Stalker being banned by TMNT. Mirana being picked up. Still no real support, even though Tidehunter is definitely an option. On the other hand, TMNT could go out with a Lich, however, versus Chen, which is the pickup for Absolute Legends so far. Probably not the best of idea. Of course, there's a lot of pushing power. Just look at this lineup. Just look at this lineup. They got Prophet, they got Shaman, and they got Chen. It doesn't get more pushier than that. They kicked out Brood. The only way they can make this even pushier is they pick up Enigma in this lineup, and then it just becomes just throw out everything, and they'll just try to finish this game in under 20 minutes, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Of course, on the ban, we'll take out Crystal Maiden and Dazzle being taken out in the second ban round. So Crystal Maiden being picked up on that one. Let's take a look at the statistics so far, actually, in this series for Absolute Legends, what they have been doing so far. Originally, they really like to use that combination. They generally like to use Shaman on either Snoopy or, I'm quickly need to check here, or on Musica. We also use this quite a lot. In combination, that would mean in this case that Bleak, which in this case is on our screen as Gummy, would pick up potentially Sand King as a ganking-esque carry, but that's not really, we don't know that for sure yet, so we don't know yet how that's going to point out. We have Venomancer being banned out, so that is that very, very, very strong support hero, or at least utility hero out of the equation, and Earthshaker. So a lot of initiation taking out by TMNT. In all honesty, there's the Sand King, pretty much as predicted. That will no doubt go up on towards Bleak, who will be running that in combination with that setup. Have they picked up Shen so far in this series? Yes, that will no doubt go on GoDz, and Prophet will no doubt go on. I quickly need to check here. I think it's going to be Shatan, or Shatan is going for maybe Weaver. Could be, depends. If they're going to add another support to this, it could be very interesting if they, for instance, put Darkseer on this, put him on Chen, put him on the creeps, and pretty much you can grab yourself, say, one of the Chen creeps, put Ion Shell on him, and then push him on towards into the lane, and they will take out pretty much any pushing any creeps that are currently on the lane. Will be less rack in the end though, which is a pretty interesting pickup. Half the stats in front of me right now for the Premier League. I sadly haven't had the time yet to pick up the statistics for the defense, which I will be working on later on today. So I have all those stats up to date, so I know what teams have been picking up which particular heroes. However, Lesrac has been a very interesting hero so far, which has been in the past being picked up by, I believe it was Team Fnatic actually that picked up Lesrac, or was it? No, it was actually Navi that picked up Lesrac at some point in the Premier League, which was on, and I'm quickly need to check here. Yes, it was Lesrak. Actually, Arzard, who was playing that in their first game versus MYM. So that's definitely an interesting pickup. And right now we had TMNT, and their lineup is actually quite good. We got Windrunner, probably best utility hero in the game, together with Tidehunter, who has, personally, he's so tanky. You can get, and his Ravage is just pretty much, I think, one of the better ultimates in the game, and they will get Lifestealer to finishing off. They have Marana for that late game pushing, and they will no doubt have maybe Lifestealer in the jungle, Marana on a solo lane, Windrunner together with Tidehunter perhaps in a solo. Depends really what they were going to go for. They could actually send Tidehunter together with Marana. There's a lot of potential here. They got 3 heroes who can solo lane pretty well, which is, in this case, Windrunner. We have, of course, Marana and Storm Spirit. So we have those being picked up. So that's going to be really critical. So we're going to be seeing how they're going to put this in dynamic with each other and how the synergy is going to work out. Lich, of course, was not really a really good pickup here because of the Chen. Lich ult, you throw it on towards the Chen creeps, it bounces in every single direction. It's pretty much a lost case there, so you wouldn't have seen that in the bans, in the bans initially out of the way, because it's not really a hero you would pick up very quickly. We're ready to go on the way here in this matchup, and let's see how this goes as we have ourselves a game underway. Let's take a look at what the lineup's going to be. We have ourselves Bleak under the name of Gummy Worms will be coming out with Lesrak actually, and GoDz will be coming out as Sand King, which is interesting. I had not expected Musica with Shadow Shaman, which is pretty much expected. So we'll have to pretty much, we're going to be adding that to my listings. So that's Lesrak. GoDz will be coming out with Sand King. GoDz with Chen, which was pretty much predicted. Shaitan with Prophet. And finally, Musica with Shaman. On the other hand, we have ourselves TMNT. Isover will come out with Lifestealer. We have Polite coming out with Marana. Go Away with Windrunner. Wannabe with Tidehunter. And finally, Kiss with Storm Spear. And there's a lot of dynamic in there. And I'm really curious how this is going to turn out and what the laning combos are going to be. We have ourselves a Tidehunter together with a Lifestealer in the top lane, potentially with Marana. And that right there, they're going to be, we're going to be remaking apparently. Interesting. Why are we going to be remaking? It's an interesting thing here. Let's see how that is going to pan out. Apparently we're just going to go for a simple remake. Can we go on towards full screen, by the way, production, so we can make sure that nobody sees the actual... Thank you. So we're going to go quickly for the remake here. Let's see, what was the password again? Okay, that was that. There we go. Alright, so we have that game on the way. We're quickly going to go and pick that one up. I'm really interested in how this dynamic is going to go, because they're going to put Marana in the solo, in the lane, and pretty much go for a late game there and try to get Storm Spirit in the middle and Windrunner on the side lanes. They're going to get her up. Of course, that Shackle Shot, you can drop that Shackle Shot right there. That would be really good. So you have that combination going on. We're going into the game right now. Let's take it live and see how this is all going to pan out for both teams, because there's this matchup right there is definitely very interesting. However, seeing how this is going so far, especially with these picks, we got Shen. That's one. We got Prophet, we got Shaman. Those 3 are pretty much the strongest pushing heroes in the game. It doesn't get more ridiculous than that. So Lesrak will be a nice supporter there, in combination with Sand Kings. There's a lot of ganking potential there already. Of course, it's going to be so annoying by putting himself in the middle of that rain, put Sandstorm up, and that's going to be the end of that. So there is definitely something there which is interesting. Then, of course, we got ourselves the stuns with our, which is on the TMNT side. We have the slow on Lifestealer, so that's the Bloodlust right there. We have ourselves of course, the Shackle Shot from Windrunner. We have the arrow from Marana. Then we got Tidehunter, which has a slow with Gush, of course, but then we have Ravage, which is a disabler, and then we got Storm Spirit, which has himself the Shackle. So now that right there is a lot of disables. So they're going to need to go for a full-on gang setup here on towards this pushing team, and that's exactly what they need to do here on this lineup. Again, Mirana, Tidehunter, as well as Lifestealer in that top lane. Mid lane is going to be Storm Spirit, pretty much as predicted, and go away with that Windrunner on the side. Then we have ourselves Lesrac, Sand King in the bottom lane, so we're going to go for a dual lane on the bottom. And of course, the Chen in the jungle, who is already setting up, no doubt. Let's see if we can find him here. And there he is. He's going to set up in this jungle. Actually, with a really early push. That's definitely something we haven't seen much from Absolute Legends, to be quite honest, because what they've been doing so far, in pretty much every single VOD that I've seen, is they really like to go, all 5 of them, right into the jungle, right away. We saw it versus when they did it versus World Elite, and all of them just piled in towards the jungle, took down their Venomancer, and completely swiped him off. Got themselves a kill before the start of the game. Additional items being piled up there, and that adds just so much more potential from the early game. And especially if you put that on towards the mid hero, then well, that's just loading up on even more stats. So that's definitely gonna make the middle area very, 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 very useful. We got ourselves the nice one, Denial on the Illusion by Prophet. So that's going to be on Shaitan, and he's going to solo lane. So Shaitan on a solo lane on top, and that's definitely interesting. There's a couple of choices you can make here with Prophet. Of course, we have Chen in the jungle, so that's definitely something that was to be predictable. However, Prophet, you can do 2 different things with him. You can put him in the jungle, waste a lot of mana, or you can put him in the lane, make sure that he gets a lot of farm, and make him extremely ganky. That right there is definitely really interesting, because you can get so much farm on him, especially if you can move him in and out on towards the teleport with the teleportation. You can just move him around the lane. It just gives him so much damage potential, and this ward right here as well from TMNT is very, very nice, because they know exactly what is going on the back of the lane right now, and Shaitan doesn't know this. So that right there is definitely something interesting to keep under control. There's Lifestealer. He will be in the jungle, setting himself up. Actually, with a Quelling Blade Stout Shield combo, so a lot of last hitting power there, as well as healing salve, so you won't need to I seem to be spiking a little bit production, by the way, if you can take the audio on the way. Shadow Shaman with the first blood here will be taken down on towards the Storm Spirit with additional, so that was a combination of Shackles, followed up by Evershock. So that right there is already a lot of damage, and then the creeps take the rest of the power right there and then. And that's going to give him a couple of seconds of free farm. One more, just going to let... There we go. Ooh, yummer. That's a bit of a shame, so you won't be able to pick that one up. But it's a lot of farm already. Let's take a look at the slope here. So far, it's about 600 in advantage so far of Absolute Legends. Got themselves a slope in towards their general direction. Let's take a look at what's going on in this bottom lane. So Absolute Legends are actually holding this creep wave back quite nicely. And I'm kind of waiting right now on how the pushing is going to go. We got a lot of stats here. Let's take a look at what kind of items we have on both sides. A lot of stats, a lot of Iron Branches, and right now Mirana is already pulling away. Let's get ourselves that Ring of Bacillus. Is it actually activated? I don't think it is. It is inactive, which is pretty standard. Why is that pretty standard? Well, there's a good reason why you want to put Bacillus on inactive. It's a good reason for it. If you put it on inactive, it will only be used on the heroes that are in the lane and on yourself. If you put it on active, the actual 6 damage, the aura will be moved on towards the actual creeps themselves as well, and that's bad. Why is that bad? Because that will push the lane. Push it right on top of the tower, and in this case, that means the Shaitan will get himself a ridiculous amount of farm, and if there's anything you don't want to have happening on Nature's Prophet, it's giving him a ridiculous amount of farm. So that right there is definitely something you want to keep in mind. This ward right here, great warding. We'll be able to see this rune here whenever it spawns, which is coming up in another 50 seconds. So that is critical. This rune right here will make sure that the creeps don't spawn, so there won't be any pulling on towards the lane. So that right there is once again some great usage, as I think we have got ourselves a potential gank in our way. There it is, Windrunner in a bit of a pickle. Will be going down as Nature's Prophet does exactly what it needs to. Uses teleportation, has an additional mana from the middle of the lane, and will be able to push this tower now. Wind combination with Lesrac as well as Sand King. So we had Barrow Strike being used by Sand King for the initiation, followed up by Lesrac with his with his Edict, which is basically an AoE attack. So that will be a nice setup there. So right now, Nature's Prophet is actually going to TP out of there.
Tower is under attack.
Could be done, maybe. No, he's actually going for a little bit of mana regen, so he has already his Sage Mask up, which gives him a lot of ability to go in any direction you want. Can put a Basilius on him if he wants to, potentially. Doesn't need to, but also has the opportunity to go in towards other items along the map. And back towards his lane he goes, ready to go for a little bit more ganking. Storm Spirit in the meantime. Storm Spirit is a really curious case because he is, in my personal opinion, pretty much the most mana-dependent hero in the game. Doesn't matter what you really do, mana is pretty much critical on him. As we have Ursa Warrior with that Thunderclap ready to go, and that's going to stop. Is he actually going to be using that? Is GoDz? Nope, he's going to fall back. But he has himself the Boots of Speed already. It's going to give him a lot of opportunity to move back and forth between the creep camps quite quickly. But he needs to get himself a... Alpha Wolf or something like that. Are you messing with my audio, by the way? Because I can hear that. Thank you, production. In the meantime, yeah, exactly. As a Centaur Khan, that's exactly what Chen wants. Have they actually spawned in the jungle yet? I see Troll Warlords. I see... Yes, this one right here, Alpha Wolf, will give you an additional 30% bonus, all right, which right there is a really, really good one in combination with Ursa Warrior, which gives you that blow, which is definitely really good. As we have another gank here, so far Windrunner not doing all too good at all here versus Lesrak. Already has himself that phase boots. Will allow himself to pretty much pass through any creeps around the map very, very quickly. Lifestealer, however, is something you want to keep an eye on very, very closely. Why? Because he is well on his way to get himself that armlet, and that's going to be critical right there. And then needs himself at least about 950 gold plus the... Yeah, so that's about 1,600 gold he still needs. We have ourselves a potential gank kicker. Storm Spirit is on his way. He does not have his ball lightning yet, even though he's level... He's not even level 6. That's definitely a problem, as a potential gank was on its way. And are they going to push? Musica does have his wards. And Absolute Legends right now are doing great. They're doing absolutely great. And they may actually have ourselves a good... Yeah, here goes Sprout comes out. Here comes a Shackle. This should be it. 1, 2, 3. With double dabbins in combination. Goes right on top of Roshan. No, he's going to go down. Shadow Shaman will pick that one up using the Ether Shocks. Will get out of there alive with 1,700 gold on him. 1,700 gold. That is so much. He can do pretty much whatever he wants with that. But he's going to need himself a lot of mana. He needs himself regen. A lot of regen. And Windrunner in the meantime, again, on a pickle as Lesrak once again picks him up as we have ourselves Bleak on complete another Rampage. Can he get out of there? The TP comes in. Can Storm Spirit picked up. Still not on Ball Lightning. Is still really, really far away. And that right there feels pretty much like a wasted TP. That's a wasted 130 gold. So you really have to make yourself that... that idea, like you have to weigh the odds a little bit. It's like, is this 135 gold, which is TP'd right on top of the tower as I die, is that worth it? Is it? Because in this case, no Ball Lightning. And that right there is a critical thing. You need Ball Lightning. Has electric Vortex. So that's definitely that pull. So that's the disable right there. And the ping goes out. Is there a ward up? No, it's not yet, but we may have ourselves a push on our way. Still, let's take a look at how the slope is going. For a little while, it was going in towards the direction of Absolute Legends. Absolutely. Definitely something there, plus 20k as we actually have ourselves a potential gang on our way here. Ooh, a Storm Spirit just in time. We have ourselves gold out. Yeah, there we go. Sand King takes out Tidehunter, and that right there takes him out of the equation. We may have ourselves a push on the tower. The wards were dropped a little bit too far away. We'll clean up this lane, and we'll have ourselves a push underway. Is he actually going to use... No, he's still 30 seconds away. Does have himself a tree, and will be able to push on towards this tower, and that's pretty much going to be the end of that particular tower. We have ourselves a haste being picked up now by GoDz. And it's 0-6. So far, Absolute Legends plowing ahead. But let's not pull it away just yet, because we still have the slope going back and forth a little bit. 2,000 in the Absolute 2,000 gold advantage so far. But it's not out of the way yet. What can TMNT do to get back from this? Well, first of all, they need Lifestealer. And they need Lifestealer with that armlet. They need a Lifestealer to get that additional 500 gold, 500 HP. And that's going to give him plus 15 attack speed, 5 armor, 5 HP regen. So as soon as you enable it, it adds an additional 10 attack speed. It adds an additional 25 strength. But it drains 35 HP a second. And that right there is critical. There now, he needs to get that farm up. And he needs that 700 gold. He's not that far away. His Wild Kingdom is going to give him, I think, about 70 gold, something like that. It's going to give him, it's trying to give him a little bit more regen. We're waiting for the Wild Kingdom to fall back. There we go. Yeah, 74 gold right there. So that's that pickup. But it's 10 minutes into the game. And what have we seen so far, 10 minutes into the game? Absolute Legends are in control. That's definitely something we can see. We're going to take a look at the slope. They're starting to pull away 4,000 gold. 4,000 gold right now. But it's all up to Lifestealer right now. Can Lifestealer pull this one off? He needs to do it. And he's got himself 150 gold before he can actually do something here. Ooh, less Raku looking. Gank. It is going to be Bleak looking for Ezo. Is it going to be the case? Is it going to be the case? Here comes the first one. Yep. Rage being put up. TP comes in for the gank. Oh, the Sprout misses just in time. Bear X comes off, and this is going to be the end of that unless... No, there's no Ravage there. Nope, that's going to be another gank. GoDz will take him down using the functionality of the Burrow Strike, and that right there is pretty much going to put Lifestealer and the rest of TMNT on the back foot for another 2 minutes, because that's how much time it's going to take for him to actually farm that amount of gold back on towards the field. And in the meantime, Absolute Legends can extend the slope even more. How far is the slope right now? There it is, plus 5,500 gold right now. That is significant. That is huge. It's a massive amount of gold. What kind of items do they have so far? All right, so they got Urn. That's definitely good on Shaitan, so he will be able to get a lot of AoE. At least, no, actually on that damage. So we have ourselves a potential gank here. Never mind. Burrow Strike comes on board to follow up. That's going to be the end of Storm Spirit. Never mind, as the Sandstorm is going to make him die. Lifestealer trying to get the hell out of there. Hex comes out, followed up by the Ether Shock to finish him off, and this right here, with that pushing power in combination, it's just not working. It's not working it out. It's 10-0 for Absolute Legends, who are absolutely pulling away versus TMNT. And it's just not looking good at all for them. TMNT should know right now is the setup for Absolute Legends is a full-on push setup. They have Prophet, they have Shaman, they got Shen. Or Chen at least. So can we take a look at the mini-map there, production, for a second, see what we have on that end. Right now, is this tower is down, this tower is down, this tower is down, and this tower is down. And it's not even 12 minutes in. There's just so much pushing potential here from both sides. As finally we do have ourselves, yes, Yasha about to be pulled up here on towards the Marana on Timmy. However, is that going to be enough? We don't know yet. We need ganks here from TMNT. The best counter to a pushing team is ganking them. Every single opportunity. They're all by themselves somewhere, jump right on top of them. Gank them. Out of the equation. Just like then and then. That's what you need to do, and that's not what TMNT is doing. That is critical for the setup. You have 3 pushes against you. Get Shaman. Okay, Shaman has got himself Hex, he got himself Shackle, sure. But he's made out of paper. You can cut him through him easily. And especially when you have a hero like Storm Spirit who can just jump right on top of him. Use Vortex and then take him down. And then go back and forth and back and forth. Take him out and just stun him continuously. That right there is what you need to do. And that's right, not just what we're seeing. It's 10-0, or it's 13 minutes into the game. However, it's not played to set. Let's take a look at the slope. All right. 8K. 8K difference. That's a lot of gold to come back from, but we haven't seen stranger things. Stranger things have happened. If they can keep their warding up, which is what they've been doing. They got their ward here, right on top of the stairs. It's fairly defensive. They can see here and here. As, oh dear, that's Marana down. TP once again. Oh, never mind. Tries to jump out of there. Leap was not be enough. Sprout once again comes here from Windrunner. Gets out of there. Nicely done. Uses that Tango to get out of the tree. Power Shot will not pick one up, even though 1 or 2 creeps. But right on top of the tower, are they actually going to go for the strut? Yes, they are going to go for the tower dive. They're going to get the Shackle off. Yes, they will. And that's going to be the end of Go Away. That's the end of that. Nicely done. And all of a sudden, Tidehunter's by himself as well. GoDz with the Burrow Strike. Can they follow up? No, because Storm Spirit is right there. And they don't want to engage that just yet. Because they don't want to give that single kill away. because they know that they know they can jump right on top of that. And this match could end very, very quickly right now. 13 minutes and a half into the game, easy, pushing all over. Have you played a pub recently? Have you played a pub game recently where you have managed to take down not one, not two, but 6 towers in the first 13 and a half minutes, gaining an advantage of 10,000 gold? That, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is humongous. And now right there, they're going for Roshan as well. Ready? Oh, look at this. They got Chen right here. That's a wild utility Chen mechanism in combination with arcane boots. So much mana. Going for Roshan. This is going to be easy, 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 easy. Unless they can come in right now. Do they have Ravage? Yes, they do. Do they have Armlet? Yes, they do. If they have to do it, they need to win this game. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Power shot on the run. There's the Ravage. Comes up for it first. Nicely done. Can they keep the ganking though? Leshrac in a bit of a pickle. Comes out of there. Is going to go down. Storm Spear jumps out of there with Ball Lightning. It's not going to be enough. Nicely done. We have Roshan not being down just yet. Excellent, excellent play. That's 5 down from TMNT with Absolute Legends with some exquisite follow-ups. Using their Hex, using their Sprout significantly, as well as the Burrow Strike to quickly follow up. And with Leshrac, with that Diabolic Edict, just pulsing around with Pulse Nova, pretty much putting the end of that. And they're all squished in towards a little area. So you're all in Roshan, all the melee heroes come in and turn on Pulse, watch dudes die. That's pretty much how that works. And now they're just going to push another tower because they have an opportunity. It's 15 minutes into the game. They've got this. It's easy. Look at the slope. It's massive. 12,000 gold. Let's take a look at the items. My God. Leshrac is nearly on a Bloodstone. He's got himself the Perseverance. He's got himself the Point Booster. He's got himself the Vitality Booster. All he's going to need is just one more item. And it's only 1,400 gold away. It's only 1,100 gold away. It's right around the corner. We're going to check here. How much far is it? How far is it? Yeah, he just needs an energy booster, which is 1,000 gold. That's nothing. That is nothing. He's just plowing through, and as soon as these barracks are down, that's pretty much going to be it. Blink Dagger onto a Shadow Shaman. We got Vlad's, the mid-game Vlad's on Chen. Really, really nice because of that additional effect. Or did he actually have... No, they're using the Wildkin Tornado to throw people towards the air. Ooh, that's actually quite a decent little shackle shot here on towards a Gush. Never mind, because there's going to be a nice little Sprout to follow it up. Never mind, because here comes the Pulse. 1, 2, 3. Takes down Mirana. Takes down Lifestealer. That's going to be the end of that. And this is pretty much going to be the fastest game that we have seen in a very, very long time. As Absolute Legends are absolutely demolishing TMNT here with a very, very fast follow-up. Oh dear. Lifestealer just found out that his armlet went down. Very unlucky. But yeah, has quota been reached? Gold a minute? 400, 400, 400. 82 by Titan. And that's pretty much to be predicted. Gush comes out. Is that going to be enough? Nope, it's not going to be enough because the farm continues 20-2, an 18-point advantage, and they're ramming on towards your front door. Quick fallback. Looks like Shadow Shaman either is going for a Black King bar or for that Aghanims. Probably Black King bar because, well, it just gives you that magic immunity for a few minutes, or at least a few seconds. That's definitely going to help, but they're going to push on towards this tower because they have so much pushing potential. Look at this. Shadow Shaman, Serpent Wards in 16 seconds. Doesn't matter. They're going to be pounding right on top of this very, very shortly. Mirana on the boards here. Did manage to take down Sand King. So that's going to be crucial. No. Tidehunter does not have enough mana there. And that's going to be the end of that. That's going to be, yeah. That's E for Shock's going to finish off on towards Mirana. As Musica and the rest of Absolute Legends are in an absolute strong game here. 17 seconds. TMNT Mirana doesn't even know it. Good game being called. Only needed 17 minutes to pull this one off. As the former, well, yeah. What can one do? N7, better known as Absolute Legends, will be picking that up. And Absolute Legends definitely a team that has a lot of history behind them. Be sure to check out the Dota wiki as well, because they have got they've got a lot of history in them, especially if you consider the Brawl qualifier. #1 is where they where they had that somewhat controversial match versus Fire with the puck, which had a little bit of a bug on it, where you would use the phase shift, and it would pretty much phase shift itself out of a ultimate from Void, and that right there was a little bit of a controversy. However, it did allow Absolute Legends back then as N9 to go in towards the top 4 of the Brawl, which is coming up in the next week or so. I'm quickly need to check that up sooner in a little bit to see what the details for that are. However, Absolute Legends will take this up in only 17 minutes, and that right there is an absolute rampage. And you know, our production, put me on Twitch full screen there, see how this is going to go. There we go. 17 minutes. 17 minutes is all they needed in order to pull this one away here on this showcase match versus TMNT. We're going to see whether or not if there's going to be a follow-up match, and whether or not that is going to be the case. But 17 minutes, not bad, not bad, not bad. We're going to be right back with you here on TotalKaos to see if Map 2 is going to be a fact. See you shortly.